Okay, now let's toss in this new thing that you're talking about into this whole thing. You're saying that our people have a hidden wisdom, the wisdom of Kabbalah, that it deals with how to keep love another as thyself and connect by that all parts of the nation, regardless which part. Right. Okay, don't take this personally, but I'll let you in on what I hear on the media. Once a month, or once every few months, in Israel, it's publicized that one or another Kabbalist used their special forces in order to use people and exploit them sexually, financially, and so on. Meaning, what we know about the wisdom, the hidden wisdom of Kabbalah, is that there are people that are engaged in it. They have great forces. They can influence other people very strongly, and every few months they catch the next so-called Kabbalist and throw him in prison. Help me out on this. People in the name of Kabbalah can tell you anything because it is perceived as the hidden wisdom. Then they can say that they're Kabbalists. No one can come up to them and examine whether they're Kabbalists or not. If it's the revealed Torah, you could give him the book of Gemara and see what does he know. In the wisdom of Kabbalah, you can't examine what a person knows or not. Other Kabbalists can come to him and examine whether he knows what he's talking about. And obviously, according to what they tell and teach, it's obviously not the wisdom of Kabbalah. Some charms and red strings and amulets and different ideas regarding healing. It's not the wisdom of Kabbalah at all. The wisdom of Kabbalah is only about bringing the reforming light to a person, correcting him, and bringing him to love of others. This is what the wisdom of Kabbalah is about, and it says so. It's not that I say this, it's written in the books. And therefore, I have nothing to say about those people that as if use the names of the Torah and the Kabbalah and as if they're great in this field and they deserve it and so on. What do we have as a result? That the people of Israel are included in all of these problems and they see them. I hope that by this they will learn the truth. Now, when you're talking about correction, you said that a person has to correct himself. When I previously told you that every 2-3 months they catch a so-called Kabbalist that performed corrections, especially on women, convincing them that in order to correct their souls, they have to do with them one thing or another. What do you mean when you say correction? A correction is something that someone can do for me? Can someone correct me? What is a correction? A correction, it's like we said, it's your attitude towards others. I've created the evil inclination, I've created the Torah space. Is it something that I have to do? Can you correct me? No, of course not. I have to do it, she has to do it, any person has to do it. A Kabbalist, it means a person who knows how to use the reforming light, the so-called higher light, and to draw it to correct himself. And then, if he is experienced in it, then he is authorized to gather a few people around him, as many as come, to open a so-called group and also teach them, each and every one of them and all of them together, how to correct, so that each one of them will know how to correct himself. How does a corrected person, what does he look like? How does he behave? You can't say anything in advance, but of course he doesn't steal and he doesn't rape and he doesn't confuse people, but his entire attitude is to give them the method of correction. Yeah, but I mean, suppose someone learned how to correct himself, he corrected himself, maybe not a lot, just a bit, he started correcting himself. What is his attitude towards the world? From what I understand, from what you're saying, it turns a person upside down. From thinking about myself all the time, after a person corrects himself, he changes. So can you please describe the change that he undergoes? How does he feel himself, others? He feels that he's responsible for the entire world. He feels himself as the representative of the Creator who must perform the correction both on himself and also he has to help others. achieve the ability to correct themselves, and his entire paradigm, the way he looks at the world and everything that happens, it happens only between the creator and the creatures, and he wants to be the matchmaker between them. He wants to be the passage between the creator and the creatures. And who's the creator in this respect? The correcting force. Positive? Yes. That brings love? Yes. The good that does good, good and benevolent. Our show is almost up. We started with the question of what should we tell at home? What should we tell our children about the holiday of Matan Torah, the giving of the Torah? So what's the main insight I should give my children about this holiday? The entire Torah speaks about how can we reach love of others. That's all there is to the Torah. All the rest, as Hillel says, go and study. All the rest are only details of the rule of love another as thyself. And why do we celebrate it? Because we got a method of how to correct ourselves and reach a world which is utterly good, a whole, perfect, eternal state. And you move on to the next level of the existence of reality. The Torah is preparing such things for us that we can't imagine where are we now compared to that. It's worthwhile revealing.